Passive income. So this is one of the most popular buzzwords we have all heard on the internet, on the YouTube, and so on. Uh, it's a way to make money or a method that once you learn how to do it and how it works, you can just implement that and automatically you will, start making money passively. Meaning you don't have to make any efforts, don't have to put any capital or efforts or anything, time or energy into it. Automatically it generates income every month or every week. The money comes into your pocket. It sounds pretty good, right? Who doesn't want to have that kind of a comfortable, income? And also, there is a very good way of explaining it. Like you can spend all your time on the beach or traveling the world, spending time with people you love and doing things that you care about or love about, and do what you want for the rest of the day, and just spend a few hours, and then automatically, you get that passive income which is into thousands of dollars, which will take care of your lifestyle and your day-to-day needs. You don't have to work anymore. Like you can work whenever you want to, and then you can, you know, choose not to work whenever you have other activities and other important things to pursue. Okay, let's first break down these myths and understand what is the reality. So this video is going to be about all that. Not to encourage you not to do anything that generate passive income, but to give you the true picture. So let's break it down one by one. First myth: passive income requires zero effort. This is one of the most popular misconceptions people have. They think that you don't have to put in any effort. Like let's say you want to do even a simple business, uh, online or offline. You need to put in some capital, some effort, or some learning how to do the business, how to get the products or services in front of the customers, and so on. The reality is most forms of passive income require some kind of initial setup or initial phase where you have to build your business. You have to talk about the business to different customers. You have to bring your offering in front of customers, and you have to do test marketing and do a lot of things. So that requires a lot of startup capital and a lot of resources. Resources in terms of your time, energy, or sometimes you have to buy the raw materials or samples and give it out to people and test out the market, how people are responding, and so on. And even after the business is set up, you still need to maintain it. You have expenses, you have overhead expenses, you have ongoing expenses. Even if you're doing something like a blog website or even a YouTube video, for example, YouTube channel, you still need to create those videos. You still need to have those equipments and have those ongoing expenditure to maintain your content, to maintain your website. So this is the reality that you need to have these startup costs, resources, sometimes even knowledge and kind of subscriptions to manage your business. So that's the reality that I'm bringing in front of you. So it involves definitely some startup resources, and later on in future, once the business establishes, then probably it might appear like okay, things are happening automatically, massively. That's myth number one. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, before that, we have some examples. Like you can get passive income in the form of rental income from a property, investing in a rental property, for example, or you can build an online course or a YouTube channel or investment portfolio to generate income. These are some examples where you could potentially make passive income. But let's say I'm starting to make passive income today, and tomorrow I cannot expect that I'm going to make one thousands of dollars from these avenues. It's going to take a lot of time to acquire a rental property. It's going to take a lot of time to build an online course. It's going to take a lot of time, effort, and perseverance to build my portfolio, which will be big enough to generate that passive income. Let's move to myth number two. Wow, passive income will make you rich overnight. I wish it was true. Not really. So here let's understand that this is not a get rich quick scheme and a strategy to make quick money or quick bucks. It's more like a long-term strategy. You're just trying to find out a path for yourself, either in the form of small business or a kind of side venture, which will take you on the road or the path to a passive income. And it's basically starts slow and it starts growing. And believe it or not, it requires years of effort and consistent reinvestment. You see some people coming and saying that, hey, I just spent 6 months and I made this passive income. Probably true, probably not. We don't know. And that doesn't work for everybody because the new business and new activity that you're going to do it could involve a lot of new skills, new um, types of markets, new types of content you're dealing with, new types of customers or audience that you're dealing with. And similarly, you may also have to get some inputs or tools or supplies from different people to make those products and services. Look at it like a business. Let's say even if it's a small business, like a convenience store or a small retail outlet. See, when they start initially, the growth is going to be slow. Like so, as I am showing in this chart, for an example, the growth is going to be slow in the initial phases because you're a startup company. Your name is not out in the market. People are just looking at you just now. They heard your name. And some of them probably subscribe to your channel or buy your products or they come to your store. And gradually, the market picks up. After a while, what happens is there's a lot of repeat customers and a lot of people discover that, oh, there's a store here, there's a shop here where I can buy. There are good deals happening here. And there's a massive amount of growth. Like that's the growth stage. And once you get a growth, then it starts picking up very fast. And then you reach a point where you reach a maturity or a peak. Like you cannot go at a fast rate for a longer period of time. You grow at 20%, 25%, and keeps on going. At some point, like you feel that, okay, you have about 200, 300 customers at some point, and then there is a kind of maturity or a peak because you have covered almost your total addressable market, or probably you're reaching 80, 90% of your market. So that's when you reach the peak, and after that, probably there could be a decline, or you could sustain the market, or you can sustain the business for a longer period of time. This is how any kind of business works, whether it's a small convenience store or it's a large corporation or a mid-sized business or even other types of business like online e-commerce or content creation, research, and so on. So there will always be years of consistent effort and consistent reinvesting back into the business to allow it to sustain and grow by itself. So the whole myth that people are circulating around that passive income that's going to make you rich tomorrow, and tomorrow you're going to just leave everything and just uh, work on this passive income idea that's going to make you rich overnight. Unfortunately, not. Just like any other business, it's going to take time to build that income. Initially, the income could be very low or not even covering your basic cost. You might be facing several months or years of expenditure and not much income coming in. So, which means you're actually in the red for a lot of months or a period of time before you see the real profits rolling into the business. The profits come into the business after a longer period of time. So that's how passive income businesses also work. So so that clarifies the myth. That's the reality. And let's go to the third myth that people have, that you find that one great idea and that's going to be your life-changing source of income. It could be true in some cases. In some cases, people find that one great idea, but that may not be the case for everyone because probably the first idea or the first business may not work and you may have to do further work and polish your ideas or explore different types of ideas until you know which idea is going to click. Similarly, relying on one type of income is kind of risky. Like let's say you are into a property rental business. You have a property and you're renting it out. Is it like risk free? Some people think, yeah, I have a property, I own it, so I don't have any risk. I can kick out my tenant. That's not the case because if there is a vacancy for 5 or 6 months, you're losing the income for those 5 or 6 months. And if there is a damage or any issues in the property, you're going to spend a lot of money to fix and repair those bigger damages, which is going to eat in your capital. And that is a risk. Similarly, retail stores can face poor sales season, or sometimes there's a lot of inventory that you have to sell it at a discount, and sometimes things are not just selling and you have to liquidate and sell it at a loss. These are things that happen in real business, and that is true for passive income business as well. So it's important that you don't just focus just on one area, but also have a few other options where you can diversify across different sources. For example, if you're doing just the rental property business, you can also use that savings to invest probably into other areas. Probably you may consider investing in stocks, or you may look at investing into bonds, or probably you can invest into other types of business. Probably you can run a retail store. Probably that can give you a different type of revenue, which is separate from your real estate business. So that way, the diversification will help you spread your eggs across different baskets, but also benefit from different trends in different industries. So when one of the sources collapse, you still have other sources of income to balance your portfolio. Okay? So having said that, we move to the next myth. This is pretty common. Like passive income is 100% perfect and risk free. Easy to make money. Let's look at what's the reality. Like it is definitely not risk free. There is always a risk in any kind of business. Every income source has some kind of risk, whether it's a job or business, or small business, big business, or you do a startup, or you invest in someone else's business. There is always a risk. So it's important to plan for the contingencies, which means setting funds aside. Or you may also want to have some funds set aside for your personal expenses or your living expenses, so that you don't put all your money into the business. Rather than that, you just try to separate some savings or some emergency funds to take care of your needs, your family needs, or your day-to-day expenses, and so on. And there is also a separation of personal and business funds or expenses accounts. So that's um, the first part, how you deal with that. And the second would be plan for alternate sources. So this is not a financial part of it, but this is more like looking at different areas. Similar to the diversification point I mentioned in the previous slide, probably you have new skills, new ideas to improve the business, or it could be new businesses or new areas that you want to explore in addition to what you have done before. Like, for example, you have a specific retail store that you're operating. You want to add some new products, new services, like probably according to the season. Let's say there is a Christmas season or a Halloween season. You want to bring in some seasonal products or seasonal items so that you can, cater to the customers' needs of that season. So these are all ideas that you can implement to bring in alternate sources of income, probably within the business, or also looking at alternate sources of new business ideas that you can explore. However, even though you have the different ideas or different areas, each one has a different risk profile. So you want to choose businesses which are having a different types of risk profile, so that you are, properly diversified, and you can, you know, um, de-risk your overall portfolio. Okay, this is an interesting one. Passive income can fully replace a job. You know? So today you got one passive income idea, or tomorrow you got a second idea, and then okay, you have enough ideas and you start working on them, and tomorrow you can, after a week, you just quit your job. And automatically, that passive income is going to replace your job, and you fire your job, and you start on your own. Does that sound really convincing? Definitely not, because it's not going to happen overnight. The people who are trying to sell you this idea are probably trying to sell you something, or probably it's a kind of a scam, or a um, you know kind of something, some product or scammy stuff, which is not true. Passive income, or any kind of income, takes time to build. Building in the sense, like, either you have to invest some money, some capital, or some resources, or put in time and effort, or you have to learn the business skills, or tactics, or even the whole idea, whole what do you call, trade secrets, or nuances of how to run the business, practical nuances, as well as how to deal with different types of people, customers, suppliers, employees, different kinds of people. Even for a small business, these are very critical. So imagine tomorrow you're going to jump into a business from your job. Is the business going to cover all your living expenses, day-to-day expenses? That's the million-dollar question you have to ask. If the answer is 100% yes, probably you can replace, your job with that new business or a passive income idea. In most cases, the passive income is only giving you probably a small amount of income or probably nothing at all. But just there is a promise or a potential that in future it might become bigger or grow and replace your job. Today, that is not happening, right? So if today that's not happening, then why do you want to, leave your well-paying job, which is actually covering all your living costs? Now, where do you go if you cannot pay your rent or you cannot pay your bills on time? So it's important to know that the passive income or any other alternate forms of income, in addition to your job or main occupation, has to be big enough to become a replacement. New income has to be big enough that it can replace your living costs, can cover your living cost, and it makes worthwhile sense for you to, move on to the new passive income. It covers all your costs and gives you some extra cash flow too. However, in any case, that can also be risky because you never know the ups and downs in that business. That's another point, but at least it has to cover all your living expenses and make you self-sufficient. These are the main 5 points, but I'm going to give a quick summary and key takeaways from all these major 5 points. Uh, just to give you an idea of what kind of you know benefits you can expect from passive income, and let's look at it now. Like, if you like what you watched right now, please feel free to subscribe to our channel, which is Harvesting Income, and this is about learning how to make and grow your income. And feel free to subscribe to the channel and also share it with your family and friends. And if you have any questions or any ideas or any feedback, please feel free to share your comments below. And I look forward to hearing from you on that. And now let's move into the takeaways. The first is, of course, passive income is achievable and beneficial. It's the video is not meant to say that passive income is a myth. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to just demystify the myths that people have about the passive income and to know that it has a potential, but it has to be seen in the right light. You are probably seeing it in a different way or a quick fix solution, but it's not a quick fix solution. It takes a lot of time to build, and it requires initial setup, maintenance, and growth inputs, like I mentioned in the first point. And this is not a quick, rich, get rich quickly, kind of option. This is a long-term strategy. If you're planning for a passive income, you can start right away. You can start any time and you can start building it anytime. However, it is going to take a lot of time to build and give you that steady income, and that takes long time. Long-term strategy is very important. And one passive income source is not enough, so you should have multiple sources for the purpose of diversification. And initially, you start with one or probably two, and gradually you just add on additional sources. And some of the ideas may fail, so you keep on adding to your list and see what works and manage your portfolio. Okay, the next 3 points are about the income and also how it can how you can compare it with your main source of income. In this case, the income or earnings are definitely going to be unpredictable, can be volatile. One month you get you know a few $1,000, the next month you're getting a few $100, then month later then you hardly make anything. Then if for a few months you just make a very small amount of money, hardly covering your cost. It's unpredictable, and it's initially it can be very slow for some people. So that's nothing to worry about. It's just that you are learning, you are just building the business. And secondly, it cannot replace the main source of income. So you are not going to be able to replace your main job or main occupation instantly like that. Like, it's going to take several months for you to discover how this works, how the nuances of the business work, and how different parties behave in that business, how you can succeed in that business, and how to can sustain in that market, and how the income can be sustained, and so on. Last but not the least, there's a very important underlying factor or point which I want to make, that passive income ideas or passive income concept is not just about making money. The entire presentation we are talking about, making income and make and grow your income and all that. It's fine. That's one part of it. But there's another side of it which you have to keep in mind. Um, it also helps develop a sense of purpose. But probably you want to pursue a hobby or activity that you are passionate about. For example, I'm passionate about finance or investing, and I talk about it a lot. You can see that. So that's one of the reasons I also do these videos, and I open this channel. Uh, if you have a passion in certain area, like for example, if you are good at if you're good at automobile reviews, or you're a good mechanic, you can do videos on that subject. Probably you're good at mobile phones. You can fix any mobile phone. You know how it works. You are an expert in dealing with cameras or camera shots, editing, whatever field you are expert in. Can utilize your expertise and develop that sense of purpose, and that can translate into a kind of passive income. It's not going to happen in a few days. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a while till you build the business. Either you build your channel, you build your network, you build your blogs, or you build your workshop or garage or any place that you have where you work, or you work in a studio. That helps you build a sense of purpose because you are passionate about what you're doing. Like, you're not doing it just for money. So what happens when you do that? You get more sense of satisfaction, plus also some kind of earning. So when you combine these two things, it's a winning combination. You make money, but you're also passionate about it. You're able to talk about it to different people. You enjoy what you're doing, and that shows in the quality of work that you do. And even people who come to you, they would automatically recommend you to their customers or other people because they love what you're doing, and you also like to offer your services to them and advise them when they need any help. And you are functioning more like a kind of advisor, guide, or help, uh, a person who is helpful rather than just being someone who is going to just talk and sell them something. So with that, I just like to you know uh, end this video that passive income can definitely be beneficial and helpful for you, provided you take it in the right spirit and right approach. So if you like what you're watching, please continue to follow the channel and share it with your friends and family. And thank you. Have a great day.